It's been a minute since Facebook Live or really any video on our page. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned because we're going to have some more video content coming at you very soon. I am reflecting on this two different energy systems, the emotional energy and the intuitive energy, which feels pretty fitting to talk about after the intuitive workshop we did on Saturday, discussing the voices in our head and how do we know this is a voice of fear or this is an intuitive message. And a way to understand where the information is coming from is it prompted by an emotional response? How do we feel when we are hearing these voices in our head or receiving these messages? On Saturday, we talked a lot about the voice of the light, excuse me, and the voice of the shadow. And the voice of the shadow comes from an emotional response. If we're feeling fearful or worried or excited or passionate, and we're getting information or seeing signs and synchronicities, they could be prompted from emotional energy. Doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. However, if we are looking to create balance and straightforwardness in our lives, emotional energy is conditional and it creates conditions within our actions. So if we're feeling sad about something or scared about something, we're going to receive information to help us not feel those things if we don't want to feel them. How can I make this uncomfortable energy go away? Or if it's excited energy, how can I hold on to this energy? How can I keep it around me, right? So that's conditional and reactive, because what may feel good one day or what may feel bad one day may feel different the next day based on new conditions that have been introduced. So intuitive messages, the way that we know that it's an intuitive message is it comes through neutrally. We may not understand the reasoning behind it. There may be confusion around the message. We may not have all of the pieces to understand what it is that we're supposed to be doing with this message. So there is a presence that is necessary in order for us to not only receive messages intuitively, but also be unattached with what it is that the intuitive message entails or maybe would create in our lives. For example, if we're being told that we're going to be getting a new job, we may feel excited, we may feel scared, we may be curious about what that is. We may be in a current job and liking that job, but maybe feeling like something's going to change. And then all these questions start to come through. If we don't have all of the answers, and if we can't see what's the next step in front of us, is probably an intuitive message. And that's calling us to have faith to take that step forward for then another intuitive message to come through. So I like to look at it as like crossing a river and going stone by stone by stone without knowing what the next stone is going to be. So really being present with how our life is unfolding versus trying to remove something from our life or bring something in because of how we're feeling. Again, that's a conditional response that we have. So with intuition, that's the unconditional response. So we allow for our life to unfold in the way that it's we are intuitively being guided, knowing that our best interest is always at the forefront of the universe, that all of our needs are going to be met. So this is another big challenge when we get these intuitive messages. One I hear a lot that's like a wonderful cliche in my ears is, I want to open up a healing space, and I myself obviously have had that message come through. And then the wheels start turning, and well, I could do this and I could do this, but how am I going to have money, and how am I going to do this, and I have to give up my job, and da 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 da. Taking from my own story, it was definitely years in the making, and not everything happened right away. In fact, nothing happened right away. There was a level of patience that was called forward within me, and a lot of prep work to build resilience inside of myself, so that way I can move forward into what the intuition was guiding me, but also prepare myself for what was to come. So it's not always an emotional information is probably going to be more of an immediate response, something to again help you feel good and better. An intuitive message may be something that you have 4 or 5 or 20 steps before you actually get to that point. So just to kind of lay out what I'm seeing is the differences are, and I would love to hear from you. How are you aware of when the intuition is coming in? How do you receive those messages? And also, how do you distinguish that between emotional energy that comes in? Love to hear from you.